On Friday, for the very first time, Mr. Trump said that Barack Obama was born in the U.S. Why did it take him so long?
Well, let me say that the momentum in this campaign is really overwhelming, and I think it's because Donald Trump's been focusing on issues the American people really care about. He brought that issue to an end this week. But I have to be honest with you, other than many in the national media and certainly in Hillary Clinton's campaign, as I campaign all across this country with Donald Trump and for Donald Trump, the American people aren't focused on the debates of the past. They're focused on their future. They're focused on the challenges that we're facing at home and abroad. And he's offering real solutions and the kind of strong leadership that the American people know will make America great again.
Governor Pence, I know you say you want to talk about issues, but Mr. Trump could have put this issue to bed a long time ago. Just last Wednesday, he was asked by the Washington Post a very simple question: do you believe the president was born in the United States? He said he wouldn't answer it then. Then he had a major announcement he talked about on Friday. He kept this issue going. Why did it take him so long to say the president was born in the United States, which is a fact?
Martha, it is a fact, and Donald Trump and I both acknowledge that without hesitation. But I have to really tell you that I understand why many in the national media and Hillary Clinton want to distract attention from her dishonesty. It's not just the national media.
Let me read you. We counted since April of 2011, and that's the year that Barack Obama gave his long-form birth certificate from Hawaii. We counted 67 times where Donald Trump tweeted or retweeted messages questioning his birthplace. He has kept this going. He has been a leader in this birther movement.
Well, and I know there's news reports that trace this birther movement all the way back to Hillary Clinton's campaign in 2008. But
you believe that Hillary Clinton started the birther movement?
I'll let the facts speak for themselves.
Well, no, I want to talk about the facts. What's the proof of that?
What I will tell you, Martha, look, as I travel across this country, I say this very sincerely and very respectfully to you. This is not what the American people are talking about. Donald Trump put this issue to an end yesterday in Washington, D.C.
Why did it take him so long to put it to an end? It's not over.
Throughout this campaign, he hasn't been talking about it. He's been talking about the need to have a stronger America at home and abroad. Look, I understand why Hillary Clinton and many of her defenders in the national media want to distract attention from her dishonesty and her disastrous record on the foreign stage, and the fact that she wants to simply continue the failed policies of this administration that have run our economy literally into a ditch. But that's not working. I promise you, the American people see through all of this, and I think that's why Donald Trump's going to be the next president of the United States.
Governor Pence, I've been with the voters as well, in fact, just yesterday, and they talked about the birther issue. They believe, fueled in part by what Donald Trump has said, that President Obama was born outside the U.S. This fuels those conspiracy theories. Do you think he should have promoted this birther issue for all these years? Was he wrong to do this?
Our campaign just really isn't focused on the past, Martha. And it really
Governor
is.
Pence,
you
said yourself Hillary
Clinton. I'll be honest with you, Martha. It
is
really
at fault.
is.
That's going forward. That's not just the past.
Yeah.
He said Friday that Hillary Clinton and her campaign were at fault for this birther movement as well. And you just said it yourself. What is the proof? Because we can't find any, and fact checkers have looked into that Hillary Clinton started the birther movement.
Well, I just would refer you to news reports with the McClatchy News Service and reports of people in your industry, Martha, but I really have to tell you.
The reports of people in my industry say there's no proof they can find that Hillary Clinton had anything to do with it.
I understand your perspective on it. I understand the desire of many in the national media to change the subject from Hillary Clinton's disastrous record and her dishonesty, but we're just not going to play that game. Donald Trump and I are going to continue to focus right where the American people are focused, and that's not on the debates of the past, it's on their future. You know, yesterday, in the midst of this sidebar debate that so many in the national media are fascinated about, the largest law enforcement union in America, the Fraternal Order of Police, endorsed Donald Trump for president of the United States. They endorsed Bill Clinton back in 1996, but they know here that Donald Trump is the kind of president that's going to stand with the men and women in law enforcement in this country and restore law and order to the communities of this nation. And I couldn't be more proud to stand with him.
I'm going to ask you a few more questions on this, because also in the midst of this, in the midst of you saying you want to talk about issues and you want to talk about ISIS and you want to talk about law enforcement, Donald Trump tweeted an article from the Washington Post. Donald Trump's birther event is the greatest trick he's ever pulled. He is proud of this. Is playing tricks 7 weeks out of a very serious election what he should be doing?
Well, I thought the fact that Donald Trump on Friday used the media's preoccupation with certain sidebar issues to really focus on the support that we enjoy from retired admirals and generals, 14 Medal of Honor winners, now I think some 150 retired flag officers in our military recognize that Donald Trump is the right choice for the next commander-in-chief of the United States. And I have to tell you, I think he paid about as much attention to this issue you all are focused on as the American people are. Look, we have even more horrific stories about ISIS coming out this last week, a level of barbarism and murder and terrorism, the likes of which we've never seen since the advent of the global war on terror. And America knows that we need a commander-in-chief who will rebuild our military.
I want to